Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. All right. So today we are going to paint pour on several different techniques, and we're going to pour on photo paper. So I'll let a few people get in here, but this is photo paper just from the Dollar Tree. And so the Dollar Tree has this Polaroid brand. You only get 8 sheets. So it's a great way to start out if you just want to experiment with this. But then there's other places to get a bigger quantity of better photo paper. But I paint pour on the shiny side. So I just use the same old fluid acrylic, same consistency as I do all my other pours. And mixed up the same with acrylic, 1 part acrylic paint to 3 parts Floetrol, American Floetrol. And then I pour on the shiny side of the photo paper. And this is just one example of the brand I use, but you can use really any. I also use some of these smaller, it's Canon brand. So we're going to paint pour on these today, and I'm going to show you. And then next week, once those are dry, I'm going to show you more of examples of what I do with this paper. So you could make jewelry. You could use it like cut it out like skins. You can, so I've paint poured on lots and lots and lots of paper before. And so I'll just show you some, like here is an example. This one is dry. And so I had poured on it a long time ago, and then I actually put it through my Cricut machine, a die cutting machine. And so you can see this was cut out of the on the Cricut. And then you can collage those on to canvases, yeah, lots of different things. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. I've cut out just geometric shapes with the Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, don't worry. I've also just cut out like different shapes just by hand. You can cut out different shapes by hand, but I just want to show kind of some examples of paint pouring on paper. And then I will do some of these to show you kind of how it turns out. So some of these are just beautiful how they turned out. Take a look at this one. And this one I did a fairy background. So next week I will show you some of the examples of finished products after this. What you can do with all these papers. Hey Novala, how are you doing? Welcome. So we're going to paint pour onto photo paper today. And I pour on the shiny side. So these are some that I did, gosh, almost a year or two ago. So I'm just showing some examples. And then you can cut them out and collage them on all kinds of stuff. You can do jewelry, you can do magnets. There's so much. You can do greeting cards, anything, scrapbook with them. Here's an example where I cut out with my Cricut machine. And so I've cut out all kinds with the Cricut, and then I've got these scraps that I can even use for other projects. So those are just some examples. And so then see here, I took 2 just cheapo canvases from the Dollar Tree, did kind of a dip, smushed them together, and it just gave me kind of a background. And then I went through the Cricut and made these. We're doing good. We're doing real good. Thank you for asking. Busy around here. Mike's been renovating our bathroom. And so we've been real busy, and I'm trying to declutter and get rid of as much stuff as we can because we do plan on putting this place up for sale. So we're kind of getting our home ready to, get ready to sell it. So the market is right for that right now. And a lot of our neighbors' homes have sold for like really high amount for where we live. So we're going to go ahead and try to jump on that. And so we're trying to now renovate the bathrooms. So Mike just put in a brand new bathtub. So it just looks amazing. So yeah, we've been very busy. So he's been doing the renovations, and I've been trying to declutter, because you want, to put it up to list, you got to have the house, all that clutter gone. So, and you don't want to move all that clutter. So get rid of as much as we can. So, all right, that's what we're up to. But what have you been up to? Here is an example. Sorry, my dirty gloves, but I like to just reuse all my gloves, all my cups. So I'm sorry they're kind of dirty, but here's the example of a mermaid. And then I cut out like some coral to kind of show you. You can collage different coral. I even wanted to show you how like intricate it cuts out, like really I have the Cricut Explorer Air 2, and so it cuts out really kind of a real detailed, intricate designs. So that's just an example of what you can do, but there's so many different things you can do with that. So let's get those aside. And I want to show you now doing some pours. So what I do, yeah, Mike's not, he likes to do some of the other home renovation stuff, but plumbing, I don't think anybody likes to do the plumbing. So we've got today some of these smaller 3x5 just Canon ones. We've got some, I've also gone through and taped some down. So you can do all kinds of different techniques on the photo paper. You do it on the shiny side. So what I like to do, the easiest, so we'll get to one of those very first. So I have them on these papers here, these or these plastic. You can use anything. It's just easier than to transport it. But I have it just on this plastic sheeting. And so then I can do the pour and then just move it aside and do another one. But that's why I have it on there. It's not like necessary. It's not needed. You can also, what I like to do, if I'm going to do the taping down, if I'm going to tape it down, you can take a canvas that you have not opened that still has the plastic, the plastic wrap on it, and you can tape photo paper right to the canvas with the plastic wrap on it and paint on the photo paper over and over again. That's a great surface to paint on. So, all right, I'm going to show you what's the easiest way without taping them down. What's the easiest way is just to paint on, just spread paint all over one of them. We're going to show you. I'm going to put some, this is Vivid Violet, and try not to get it on the next one. But, so yeah. Oh, you took a part-time job. All right. 12 hours a week. All right. Good to get out of the house. Oh, good for you. All right. Well, I hope that goes well for you. So we're just putting a little bit of paint down. And then we've got a little bit of turquoise. And so these paints are just the same consistency. And then what we're going to do once we get it on just the one sheet, we're going to smush the two kind of together. So you don't need it everywhere. I'll show you about how much. Try to get to your edges. But this is the easiest way, the quickest way to like use up like leftover paints, to kind of experiment with new color combinations, all that good stuff. So I want to go ahead and I'm trying to make sure I'm on live chat. I don't want to miss any. I hate that, but it won't let me. Okay, so this color right here has silicone. So I usually grab a couple colors that have silicone to give a little bit of, and so give a little bit of the cell action. And then we're going to give a little bit of gold, but we really are about out. Maybe we'll put a little gold and a little silver. That would be kind of fun. Trying to get the last little bit. But yeah, so you can smush these two together. Get a little bit of silver out too. And then after you've smushed these two together, I'll show you. And then if you want to do an actual like swipe, or you were going to want to tape them down. But these don't curl up. They dry very quickly. I just set them aside, and then next week I'll be showing you all the dried ones, and we'll do a couple projects with them. They're great to do Christmas colors. I have quite a few videos, quite a few live streams where I did these painty papers. And so they're great to do Christmas cards, do Christmassy colors. I have a video where I did that and then cut out and made them into Christmas cards. So now I'm just taking the two shiny sides, pressing them together a little bit, not too much. If you smush them together too much, it'll start coming all out on the side for you. So now you're going to pull them together. So you're going to want to, if you're really careful and want a certain design, you're going to want to pull them either this way or that way. So I'll show you how it'll make a difference in the way you pull it apart. You have stacks of photo paper. Awesome. Good, good. It's a great way to experiment with different color combinations, use up leftover paint. It's awesome, and it's endless possibilities, and they dry so quick. So, all right, now you just pull it apart. We do have a couple of bald spots. I like to just come in with my finger, and all the little cells are popping up, doing their thing. All right. So you can pull them apart that way, or you can pull it apart this way. You do get kind of like this streaking. So it just depends on what look you're going for. Usually it doesn't really matter, but you can come in with your jewelry supplies, like your cabochons, your glass little, and come in, and then once this is dry, cut out little pieces and make jewelry. I have videos of all those sort of stuff on my channel, doing all kinds of stuff with painted papers. So look at some of that right in there. Like, let it focus here. Wow. So yeah, this is just Dollar Tree. It is Polaroid brand, but this is just Dollar Tree photo paper. So I'm going to set that one aside in my little drying rack area. But once this is dry, you can cut out, just freehand cut it out. It's so fun. I've done so much collaging, like mosaic type, all kinds of stuff. All right, let me just carefully get that set aside. So you can do, then you can try to do kind of, I've done like my beach scenes where I just kind of do oceany. And this is if you're going to squish them together and pull them apart. You can also, when they're taped down, and I'll do one of those in here in just a minute, you can do swipes, all kinds of stuff. It's hard to do a swipe or anything on without it taped down, though. It kind of will curl on you. But if you're just doing these kind of smush or dip or whatever you want to call it, then you have no problem. So I'm going to kind of do kind of sunset, not totally, like an hour or so before pre-sunset, almost kind of sunrise more looking. And then smush those together. So let's get a little bit more blue down here. And find the yellow. And I kind of want to get a little bit of kind of this just kind of sky colors. It's not really like my swipe sunsets. All right, now we're going to squish those together. But lots of just examples of what you can do. And then if this doesn't work out, you can still cut out little pieces of just the different colors. So this here is I wanted to kind of see the example. This is a photo paper from Walgreens. And it was a little bit cheaper than the 8 pieces for $1 from the Dollar Tree. So this one, if we pull it this way, we're going to get the ocean streaking into our sky. So for this one, we want to intentionally pull it apart, you know, this way, because it's going to streak the different directions depending on. It's kind of harder to do with gloves, so I'm just going to pull these apart. And I didn't go all the way to the edge, so I'll just have to, you can put it through your paper trimmer or whatever and trim up the edges a little bit. So that's just like a really quick ocean sunset, just quick. So lots of different things you can do. I'm going to do a couple of swipes now on them. So let me set these ones aside, but you can see the, I am going to go ahead. There's kind of almost a little bald spot. You can always come in with your fingers and fix up any of those areas. Going to go ahead and set this aside, and this will dry super quick. Now, it will be dry in a few days. I wait like a couple weeks before I put it through my Cricut, though. In like a few days, you could cut it by hand or even tear them. If you're wanting to, you could cut this and put it onto like a card or whatever you want. But if you're going to be collaging it or mosaic or anything, you can tear them to make kind of fun little designs too. So, all right, now we're going to do some kind of more swipes. So, all right, just a moment. Let me grab my palette knives. All right, now we got the palette knives. I just have these plastic cheapo palette knives. But so now if I'm gonna, these are just 3x5. You can do all kinds of stuff with these. You can just frame them in little tiny frames as well. You can do greeting cards, anything. So we're gonna go ahead and just put some white down. So the ones that I just kind of smushed together, didn't need to tape. Now I've taped these ones only because I'm going to probably have a little bit more paint left on the surface to do a proper like swipe. So I'm just putting white down. And so what I was going to use was just blue painter's tape. Couldn't find any blue painter's tape. So I am just using some of the just masking tape. And so you can use just masking tape. So I'm just going to put some colors down here in the middle and then swipe through those. And so you're going to want to wait till this is dry, and then you can remove the tape off. And if you're having any issues of it sticking, you want to go ahead. I have just like a blade here handy. And so once it's dry and I'm going to be removing the tape, you're going to want one of these blades, because there might be a few spots where, and so you just carefully remove the tape, and you might need to kind of help it along with something like that. So, but try to use blue painter's tape, or even washi tape works great. Like the washi tape that we've probably all gotten and have no idea what to do with now, all that pretty tape. You can just use it to tape down your photo paper. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and come in and swipe this down. So not too many cells. And so for this, you don't really want to, you can give it like a super quick torch, but I don't know. You don't really need to torch it too much. And you can kind of tilt it around, but I mean, not too much. So you can't really do like a flip cup for this or something, but you can do lots of techniques, blown, swipes, but the cells will kind of pop up through. And then you can always cut out the parts that you really like if it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it. But we're going to continue and do a couple more. So I'm thinking about doing like a black, I mean, not black, darker blue. This is phthalo blue. Freezer paper. Yeah, you can, so I've tried freezer paper. If you're gonna tape the freezer paper down and you pour on the shiny side of the freezer paper, it works pretty good. Now, it doesn't work as well with like really holding up the cells. For some reason, the photo paper seems to really hold those cells. But if you're not worried about cells, the freezer paper works great, but you're going to want to tape it down. If you don't tape it down, it's going to curl all up on you. But yeah, it'll work. And I've tried a few different things. But I'll wait till this is completely dry, and then I'll peel this tape off, and then you might need to just kind of, it might try to tear on you at just a few spots. So I was thinking about coming in with like some yellow ochre. And this is a cobalt. A little bit of the Tuscan teal. And a little bit of this really bright green. It's, I can't remember what that green is actually. Yeah, freezer paper works great to line and then peel off for skins. You know what I use? I buy a lot of freezer paper and use a lot of freezer paper for my art. But what I do is I store all my paintings with freezer paper between it. That's what freezer paper, we go through rolls and rolls of freezer paper because that's what I store in between my paintings. So you can come in with your aquarium tubing. And it honestly doesn't move around too much because you don't have a ton of paint on there, but it does move around a little bit. So that's one thing you can do. Now I'm going to come in with this one with like a China blue, or no, this is blue cotton. They discontinued the China blue. So the blue cotton is just slightly darker, but it's still a nice blue. Oh, you do that also. You store the paintings with freezer paper in between. Awesome. Yes. Another thing you can do is the Dollar Tree has plastic cutting boards. They come, I believe, 2 in a package. You can also pour on those and then peel the skins off of those as well. And reuse them over and over and over again. So this one, I think I'm gonna do a more of a blown one. So we've done a couple of swipes. First one was okay, but the second one turned out quite a bit better. Hey, Mr. Doughboy. Mike the Greek for YouTube president. All right. Mr. Doughboy, how are you doing? So, all right, this one, I can't decide. I think I'm going to try to see if I can blow it around with this. I might have to use the mini leaf blower, but let's see. Oops, sorry about that. I kind of hit the tripod just a tiny bit. So there are a few cells popping up. Now, I'm not sure. I believe the turquoise was the only color with silicone. So you can kind of see over here where the turquoise is, it's given quite a few. I think I'm going to put just a drop of turquoise here. About 2 drops. Blow that around a little bit. All right. So this one would be good to kind of cut up. The composition of it is kind of funky, but we got some fun little colors, and it's a great way to just use some different color combinations. I just kind of was grabbing as I like, yeah, let's try that, let's try that, and I like how it turned out. So we're going to do another one of those smush ones with these colors in just a moment. But all right, so one last one down here, and then we'll keep on doing some of the other smush ones. Dip, smush, whatever you want to call it. Here's some dusty rose pink. I believe it started out as a Craft Smart pink, and then I kind of added to it and put some other colors in there. So now it's kind of more of a dusty, rosy pink. Kind of more blush color. Don't worry about you get right over the edge. Get it right to the edge because that tape is down and you're going to remove that later. So Mike says, I don't want to be president. He's good with that. He's like, nah, no, thank you. So, all right, we got a minty kind of green. I just did some jewelry boxes with this color combination last night. This pink, this blue. I just did some of those, and they're drying beautifully. A little bit of rose gold and a little bit of this lighter pink, and this is Apple Barrel's multi-surface light pink. So, all right. I think for this one, so this is a white that I have a little bit of silicone in. I have just like 2 drops. I'm going to go ahead and put I'm going to put it on here. And so I'm loading my tool with silicone. Okay, now I'm going to swipe through with that white. That didn't really do what I was hoping for. So let's blow it around a little bit. That's what's fun is you can just experiment because you're not worried about, I mean, these materials are cheap to do it this way. And these would make great little fronts to note cards, pieces that you can make them into magnets. I mean, I could go on and on about the different things you could do. Just pulling out some squiggles here. All right. Nominated and elected, Mr. Doughboy says. Sorry, you've been nominated. It's a horrid job. It is, isn't it? All right. Gonna go ahead and give you kind of a little bit more of a close-up there. This one's growing on me. I didn't like it at first, but it's kind of growing on me here. So, all right, let me go ahead and put it here in the drying rack. And so now I have also taken down some bigger. Just a second, I want to make sure I'm not sliding those under each other. So now I've taped down some bigger ones. Here I was thinking about doing one of my like finger swiped oceans. So here's the beach, and then there'll be the ocean there. This color has silicone, and these are all the same consistency. They're all kinds of different brands. A few have silicone, most don't. I try to choose each painting. I try to choose just a couple colors with silicone because you can overdo it if you put way too many colors with silicone. What'll happen is you'll get beautiful cells to start with, but once it dries, those cells will kind of just go away on you because you had too much silicone. So, that's one thing to look for. And this is Apple Barrel's Key West. I've used Blue Cotton, Key West, Aqua Sky, a phthalo blue, just a turquoise, a cobalt blue hue is this one. So, all right, now I want to get a little bit more down here close. Okay. So this one on the right is the Walgreens photo paper. To me, it feels like a lesser quality. It's not as thick. The shiny part is not really that shiny. And honestly, when you look at the two close up, the code or the Polaroid and the Walgreens brand, I don't remember what it was called, but it was some cheap like Walgreens brand. So when you look at those close together, like this one had almost a yellow hue to it. This one on this side, it has more of a crisp, bright white to it. So I was going to do two paintings side by side, and then we'll see how they dry this next week and see if there's a difference between the really cheap photo. This one on the left is just Dollar Tree from Polaroid, so it's cheap as well. They're both cheap papers, but this is really cheap paper, and then that's not so much. Oh gosh, that you're going to commit treason. Oh gosh, they're really getting into this president thing. Oh, fun. All right. No, no, no. We're too busy to be president. Already way too busy to add that to it. So you could add in some ocean waves here. I think for this one, I'm not going to. I've done that in the past. You just put a line of white and blow that out. But this one, I'm going to just leave it. So there's our cheapo. I have way too much paint on here. So we're going to see how it dries. I'll show you this next week. But all right, we're going to just do the same old thing. But with the, so this is Polaroid brand. This is Walgreens brand. And so I'm due to clean out my paint bottles. So this is a great way to just use up these last little bits so I can get them all washed out and put some new paints in them. I like to do that every, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. Now, some of these colors I go through so much that they don't even last 8 or 9 months. But some of these colors have been in here for a long time, and it's time to get them cleaned out. Oh, thank you. You're very sweet as well, Novella. Thank you. It is a pleasure to know you as well. I really just enjoy chatting with everybody every Wednesday because I don't get out as well. I don't go. So this is my extent of a social life, kind of, pretty much. So, all right, using up last bits of all those colors. Gonna go ahead and get our beach in there. So this beachy color is actually mixed up. It's some Apple Barrel's Parchment with some burnt umber, but I didn't mix it completely. So I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's little streaks of the burnt umber still through there. So it kind of makes it look very interesting. But that's all it is a really light kind of creamy off-white mixed in with burnt umber, but not completely mixed. You can kind of see the variations of color there. So, all right, let me wipe my finger clean. So I wipe my finger just nice and clean in the transition between the two colors. Looks like a soda cup from the 80s. You remember those, it's actually, remember those ones where it had a white background and then had a dash of turquoise through it and then purple? And they were called the Jazz Cup, actually. I had to look up that they had a name because I actually did a pour already for this channel of those cups, the iconic Jazz Cup, and they were from the 90s. So yeah, kind of looks like more the first generation of those from the 80s. So, all right, I did need a little bit more paint as I got here to the end. No worries, just coming back in. And we'll just put a little bit more paint down, no worries. All right, so there will be a side-by-side comparison. You can't really compare them right now wet, but we'll see how they hold up and dry. Now I'm seeing that this one is already starting to buckle a little bit. So I will see what it does, but I've already used the Polaroid so much that I know I really like the Polaroid. So we're going to see. I might be prejudiced, but I think the other one's going to dry better. So just setting those aside, and then we'll do a couple more of those smushy smush ones. But we've done quite a few of these painted papers on live streams, on videos. So I'll have to make a playlist or something of all the painted paper ones. So I have gone over the edge a little bit, touching it with my mucked up hands. No worries, no big deal. So what was that color combination I said? I'm going to do another one of these. I think it was this kind of brighter, I honestly can't remember what color that one is. And then I think we had turquoise, and I think we had yellow ochre. It was a pretty color combination I did a few minutes ago on those tape down ones. And there it is. Polarticle talk. That's a good one. So here's some yellow ochre. So most of these colors are the cheap paint colors. And I think I'm going to throw down just a little bit of this cobalt as well. Not too much. And then we'll squish those all together. Shiny sides together. And then you don't want to like squish it. You just kind of want to press down I mean, you can just squish it, but that's going to give you a whole nother look. And I've done that, but and then you got to be careful because you might just squish it right out the edge too. But, okay, so this one I'm going to pull lengthwise. Most of them I've pulled the other direction. Oh, it curled up on me. That's that cheaper from Walgreens. So we do have some bald spots. No big deal. Come in. Pretty color combination though. I'm going to cut out some of these on the Cricut. These will be pretty. This would be pretty to cut out like turtles. That might be what I'm going to do. So I can continue pressing down, but it's going to kind of muddy because there's big areas. I'm just going to come in with a little bit of paint there. Not too much though. I think this would look, I'm always doing undersea scenes, oceans, beaches. So I automatically go to like a sea turtle. I think that would look really pretty as cut out as a sea turtle. So you might see one of these cut out as a sea turtle. All right. Everybody just chatting, having a good time. Love it. Love it. Just cleaning up some of these bald spots. I was a little worried to put too much paint on the paper, so I ended up with a few little bald spots. No big deal. So all kinds of fun little areas to cut out. Or you can always use this as a background and just put, just use it as a paint pour. You don't have to cut out anything from it. You can just cut out your favorite area and frame it. The little small frames work great for these. Remodeling the bathroom. Oh, is Megan the boss? Oh no. Pretty equal, I would say. It depends on what you're. So I'm the boss at some things and the boss at not, and he's the boss at some things. So, all right. This is a quick way to get a lot of different projects done. You can quickly squish these together and pour these out. So, all right. So this is the Polaroid one. I'm going to do kind of some tropical. This is Anita's Margarita, is the brand. Anita's. A little bit of that Vivid Violet with a yuck. We're going to kind of go on the tropical. Some of the cobalt blue hue. Or no, this is just Cheap Paints Cobalt Blue. See if we can get any more of this out. This has silicone. This is that Aqua Sky from Apple Barrel, but it is almost gone. All right, now the really good pink for this, that's what I'm looking for. Here's a little bit more darker blue. I have a pink from Apple Barrel that's Diva Pink, and it is quite bright. But I'm not seeing it. Where is? Oh, there it is, right in front of me. So this is a really bright pink, and it dries very bright pink. And then we're going to put a touch of black. If we put too much black here, it will take over. So just a little touch of black. Now we're going to take the two shiny sides, squish them together. Hey, hey, H7. What the heck, dude? Where have you been? I totally am stopping what I'm doing. Where have you been? How have you been? I've been thinking about you. I've been wondering where the heck you've been. How you been? So now we're just squishing that together. I used up all my kind of aquamarine color here. I would do some more aquamarine. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Pull those apart. When you first pull them apart, not many cells. All those cells pop up, here very soon after. So I pulled those this way, meaning kind of that streaking goes this way. So if you wanted to, you can pull them apart the other direction. So yeah, I have not seen you around, H7. I haven't seen you around at all. Actually, no, I take that back. I was watching a replay of Cornelius's live stream, and I did see that you commented, but I wasn't watching it live. So I was watching like the replay. So I did know that you here a while back, I saw you had chatted, but I hadn't really seen you around other than that one little instant. So, all good. Finally, a quiet day there. Oh, yeah. It's constant plane, boat, and car motor noise. Oh, no. I was hoping that would be a much quieter, more peaceful spot for you. Yeah, we have all new neighbors. So, we used to have such a quiet neighborhood. We have a dramatically different neighborhood. It is dramatically louder. So we are also in the process of getting the house renovated to sell so we can get further out into the boonies, so a little bit more rural, because it has gotten this used to be a very rural area, but it's not anymore. The city is coming this way. It's really growing and it is not so rural anymore. So that's what we are looking to do as well. Yeah, we just got all new neighbors that we used to have some amazing quiet neighbors. It's loud now. It's very loud now. Let's just say Madonna being played like 24/7. Like, I like Madonna. I used to love some of these songs, but to hear it played right next door, the same CD for months, I am like, I can't hear Madonna again. I'm so done with Madonna, which I used to enjoy it, but not so much anymore. So, but the places in our neighborhood have sold for huge amounts compared to what people bought them for. So we're trying to jump on that as well. Oh, it's I could go on and on and on, but I'll have to. I don't want to say too much publicly, but no, our neighbors are the worst. Trust me, they're not as bad as that situation you dealt with in Oklahoma, but they're pretty bad. So, gosh, so many amazing tiny cells throughout this one. Yeah, seller's market for sure. So, and we're not super picky about what if we get a fixer upper, we're okay with that. We're actually looking at fixer uppers. We're also looking at property. So if we have to go property and then build, I mean, we're talking about maybe even building tiny home on it, or I mean, we're really like wide open to the possibilities and the area, like all of Washington or Oregon, pretty much. So I think that also helps that we're really kind of wide open and okay with whatever we end up with. So seller's market for sure, but we're hoping to get something good here. Get a good penny for this place. We've Mike redid the all the windows, all the siding. He's done a lot of work on it. So hopefully that's going to all pay off right now here soon. So we put down some Tuscan teal, we put down some cobalt, just some turquoise, and then I think we're going to come in with spiced carrot, kind of a darker kind of orange color, kind of a harvest orange. So, oh my gosh, our summer, age 7, oh my God. We do not get heat here. You know, we don't have an actual air conditioning. We had to get like a portable little unit, but we don't have air conditioning. Most people don't have air conditioning here in the Northwest. But it hit 118. We had 118 weather. It was nuts. Yeah, it was crazy, crazy, crazy summer. So that was that spiced carrot. It's an apple barrel color. Now I'm coming in with this green color, but just a little bit. But yeah, it was and unfortunately we lost a couple of raspberry bushes, one of our blueberry bushes, one of our rhododendrons. Some of the plants just couldn't hold up. Some of our fir trees around us, the side that the sun hits on the evening on the west side, they're all burnt looking on the west side of the tree. It's sad. Our Northwest could not handle that heat. And it was a good 3-4 day heat wave of over 110. And our all-time record was, Mike, what was the all-time record? So our all-time record was 106 and it hit 118. So yeah, it's been a hot, hot, hot summer. But it's almost over. We're managing. We made it through. Lots of popsicles and iced tea and all that good stuff. We did manage to go camping a couple of times this summer, so that was absolutely amazing. The summer before, we did not go camping. So got a little bit too much paint on this one. When I squished them together and pulled them apart, quite a bit of paint pulled up, kind of puddled right here. No big deal. What I would actually do is come in. Sometimes I'll come in with some of these, the smaller pieces and just kind of dip like here, because it's going to be garbage anyways, because it's on the excess when I go to lift this. So you can just come in and just kind of see what you get. Things like that, just kind of dippity dip in there. And these smaller pieces are great to use if you just got a little bit of runoff that you don't want really enough to really save a big skin or whatever, but you want to just dip in some of these. You can dip in some of these small projects with some of these small 3x5 photo paper. Oh, Mr. Doughboy, why is it doing that? Has it been doing that? Do you see what it's doing?
Yeah, it's heartbeat.
Why is it? It's like a big old heartbeat here. All right, Mr. Doughboy, are you out of here? That's all right. But yeah, we live in the Northwest and it is much different weather. It has not rained. We're definitely in a drought. So it's definitely a different weather than when I was a kid. We did not have this sort of weather year round. It's different. We were known for like rain in the Northwest. It barely rains here the last couple years. So it's crazy, crazy difference. So this one, when I first dipped it, it kind of looked almost like muddied. It's so cool to see how it kind of develops and it really has made some cute little cells. And that's just dipping off that little, what was in the center here. So let me grab a couple more. Not too many more here, guys. And then we'll be done with that. And we'll just do one big final finale of a painting. So a couple more that I taped down. We'll do these 4, and then I'll do a 10 by 20 painting. Just do a large painting to kind of finale here. Kind of same thing we did last week, our little finale painting. Just leave that one. But yeah, that's okay. I understand. So, yeah, we need rain on the West Coast so bad. California needs rain so bad. It just is, it's a much different place, much different weather. So, this is the blue cotton. And so I'm going to do a couple of swipes. I'm going to do a couple of, maybe even a couple of blown ones. I've been having a lot of fun with finger swipes. And I have started a TikTok. For the longest time, I put off doing a TikTok, but I did just the other day. So that's been kind of interesting to learn how to do all that. But I'll just be posting, videos of my paintings and stuff. So that we put a little bit of that margarita, a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of turquoise. And then I think I'm going to come in with just a little bit of permanent violet, real dark purple. Now the turquoise and the violet have silicone. Yeah, install a water pipeline, but then you guys would be in droughts. That's the problem, is there's nobody has really the excess of water. Actually, I've heard the middle, like Ohio, the Midwest has had quite a wet summer. So I guess some people do have an excess. Yeah, there is areas that are having terrible flooding. If we could just transfer some of those flooding areas. So, all right, this one I'm going to come in and just kind of swipe this way. And so this doesn't have much paint on it. If you want just something really lightweight, if you'd really dig down there, you're just going to swipe it right off the surface. There's not that much paint. You're literally just gliding it across the top. And it doesn't look like much at first. You can kind of move it around a bit. It doesn't move too much. And then those cells will start working their way up. You can always bring your fingers in, kind of swipe it around. I'm going to kind of swipe this way. And then you can always bring in, yeah, lots of flooding. It's terrible. I've seen some videos of houses just going down a small river, but it's a huge river at the time. All right, just kind of blowing that one around a little bit. Yeah, it should be part of the infrastructure bill, but we'll see. Yeah, there's a lot that should be part of it. That's for sure. So now we're coming in with just some pink. This is Pink Parfait, I believe. I try to remember all these colors of paint. Sometimes it is seriously hard to remember all these, but I believe that's Pink Parfait. Sometimes I remember to label my bottles, but usually I forget to label my bottles. Now, if it's the usual colors like the cheap paints, I know all those colors, but there's just so many apple barrel colors, I forget some of them. But this is an apple barrel color, which apple barrel's just at Walmart. A few other places as well. But yeah, here is some of that margarita. So what have you been up to this summer? It's been a little while since I talked to you, H7. Kind of similar colors as the above painting, just on a pink background. Yeah, that pink, and it dries pretty well, that color. It doesn't really darken or anything. So that's a nice color. Uh, Actually, this one I'm not going to swipe. I'm going to come in with this one. So I am going to give you a warning of a noise warning. So this is the world's smallest leaf blower. And so I am going to turn that on in just a moment. So if you have headphones or if you want to turn it down here real quickly, but we're just going to use it real quick and then I'll turn it off. But it's not super, super loud, but it's especially if you have some headphones on or something. But I'm going to warn you, I'm going to turn this one on. So, all right. This is just off of Amazon. It hooks up to USB. There's just an on and off. All right. Sorry about that. Just quickly. Now I am going to come in and just kind of swipe just some a little bit of, I like to kind of pull out some little like almost wispies there. So, so able to run and work out again. That is good. Those can be painful. Those are terrible. I'm so sorry. Uh, Riding bike and enjoying being outside. That's what we have really enjoyed, being outside this summer. The last summer, we did not get to go outside, didn't go camping and hiking and all of our normal things we usually do. So this summer, we've gone to the beach. We've gone to up towards the Columbia River Gorge, way up kind of off grid camping. So it's been very nice to get out and get camping again and get to the beach. The beach, we're thinking about possibly moving towards the beach. But yeah, so nice to get outdoors. It's it I was needing it so bad. So I know how much it did for me to get outdoors again. So it's big thing. No, I have not been doing any craft fairs. It's been almost 2 years since I did an in-person event. Now, I did have an event in July that I had paid for and was supposed to go to, and I actually canceled it because it just, with the numbers going back up, I was a little bit concerned. And then didn't I get shingles right around then? Yeah. So I canceled the event in July and did not do it. That's the only event I was going to do. Otherwise, I have not signed up for any. But I had shingles as well this summer. So that was a fun little surprise for the summer. But that's what stress will do to you, huh? But yeah, I dealt with that. Thankfully, that is gone. I'm gonna use some of this Diva Pink. It really pops on that black background. Then I'm gonna use some of this yeah, you should metal detect your yard. That's, yes, definitely. That's fun little project there. But you found a lot of redeemable bottles and cans. Yeah, that's good. Give you a few extra bucks there and get it out of the yard, out of the environment. So that's, super important. So, all right. This one, I kind of really like how that blown kind of turned out. So I think I am going to do one more of the blown ones. So this is going to be the last blown one. I am going to turn this on one last time. I'm going to try to kind of go quick with it, but I will be turning this on one last time. And then we'll do like a different pour on this one. But so one last time, real quick here, turn down your volume, turn down your headphones if you need to, and then that'll be the last time. All right, now with this one, I'm going to come in and kind of detail it up a little bit with the aquarium tubing. And then what I'll do is the best ones that turn out the very best, I will just frame them like as is, add them to the front of like a greeting card or something like that. And then if they don't turn out exactly how I want them to, you just cut out the parts you really like. So you can totally, so many different things. Oh yeah, I don't think I have. I have done a few that were really like opalescent, like with the color shift that I have some color shift paint that I've used recently, and wow, those turn out with really like. And then I also have some pigment powders that are metallic. Those. So I'll be doing another video with the pigment powders here coming up, doing some swipes. Those really give like an opalescent kind of look to it. But yeah, I've been experimenting with all kinds of new materials, new techniques, and just kind of working on some of the old techniques as well. Right now I'm doing a like beginner pour series on my channel. That's the cobalt, some turquoise. That's on the margarita color. Oh, you're cleaning up plastic from, yeah, the plastic over the years will turn brittle and then it's terrible to, a long time ago, my dad bought a property that was just trashed and there was plastics from years and years and years ago. And he had a terrible time getting that all. He had to sift some of it to get it all cleaned up. Yeah, a lot of work, but it's going to be so nice. You'll feel so good to have, nice clean soil, and it'll feel good afterwards to have that, and it's your own piece of land. So yeah, it's definitely improving, and that's all that matters is taking care of the world around us. So it'll feel good. That's what it feels like, always cleaning up someone else's mess. Yeah, that's what it feels like. And it is, it's cleaning up somebody else's mess, but it'll feel good in the end. You'll get the good karma for it. They won't, obviously. So this is the last of the pouring on paper we're going to do today. But I am going to pour on a 10 by 20. See, and this is the problem with, see, right now I would like to tilt this one, but I don't want to tilt that one and mess with it. So that's kind of the problem with taping two different ones down. So I can kind of carefully try to tilt this one without tilting that other one. But that's also kind of why you might want to just tape one down instead of two. And when you tilt these ones, they don't tilt all that much. It kind of a little bit of difference, but not too much. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put these up. I really like how that one turned out, real nice and bright. But we're going to do a large paint pour now on canvas. And so next week, I will share how these all dried, and I will then do something with them. We'll cut some apart, we'll collage some of them. I'll show you how I glue them onto cards, frame them. We'll do all kinds of stuff with those then next week. So, all right, let me get some yogurt cups to get that elevated. Oh, look at it. It went wonky on me for a moment. Sorry about that. Golly, that looked terrible. So I just got yogurt cups. Gonna go ahead and get these on all four corners. So we have the Logitech 960, I believe. Is that what it is, Mike? We have been looking into the new Logitech Brio, I believe it is. Something like that. And so we're going to be getting that here soon. And I looked into it, and hopefully that actually will help this issue of the autofocus, because autofocus is turned off right now. Autofocus should not be doing this to this camera, but for some reason I've just had issues with it doing it. So we're looking at the new Logitech camera. So I'm going to go ahead. We've got this blue cotton. I'm going to put quite a bit here in the center, and then we're going to do a napkin ring pour and then stretch that out. So it looks like quite a bit, but we're going to stretch that out in just a moment. You like the refocusing and defocusing? I don't know. It drives me bananas. Oh, you have a family of deer in your woods. Yeah, you definitely want to keep it nice and clean. That's so nice that you have that to. I love to just watch. It's so nice to just watch them, and they're so interesting. That is awesome. You have a family of deer. So it's got to be somewhat quiet. The deer stick around. That is so awesome. So, all right, now let's find a handy dandy. Here I say I'm going to do a napkin ring, and then here is one. So these are just the napkin rings from the Dollar Tree. I use them on tons of videos. So multiple families of deer. That is awesome. So yeah, that's what we're hoping to get, somewhere where we can have some nice deer family friends nearby. So we had, this is blue cotton. Then we have that dusty rose pink that I mixed up. Then Americana sea glass. Then a phthalo blue. Then this multi-surface light pink from Apple Barrel. Cloudless from Apple Barrel. Folk Arts Rose Gold. And then we're going to go through those same colors again. Another little round of those same colors. And this color combination, I will have a bunch of jewelry boxes on my Etsy soon. I made a bunch of jewelry boxes in the same color combination. So we're going to then pull this through and then kind of stretch it out to the edges. So I'm very lightly feathering this up, letting the paint come out the bottom. Coming back over here and just pulling it kind of more to the edge. Now we're going to stretch that out, and all that's going to kind of pop more up to the surface for us. We might come in with a little bit more here. Get this stretched to the edge and see what we're working with. The sun is setting there already. Oh yeah. See, it's only 3:15 here. So I've been doing live streams every Wednesday again at 2 o'clock. I did take a little bit of a break this summer, but we were back to doing them every Wednesday. So this next Wednesday, we'll do more of like these painted papers that we did today, showing you how to finish them off, what we do with them after that, and how they dried and all that. super stretched out one here. Just slowly stretching this out. Let it go off that corner as best as you can. Might need to help it a little bit. Each time, stretch it to the corner, stretch it back to the center a bit. And then we'll come in with our palette knife and just kind of help this out just a little bit here. All right, now back to the center a bit. I'm liking the nice just subtleness to this one, not too much overdone on the eyes. All right, now we're going to come in and kind of fix that up a little bit. Oh, get you more in view there. Clean up where my fingers just went. Oh, so are you real close to the coast, or are you real close to a river, lake? A lot of boats around, huh? But yeah, I get the, see, I'm not used to like the vibration of a air conditioner or fans been going. And so it's been so hot here. We've had to keep fans going and the air conditioner going, and that creates a huge vibration in the house. So the other day it was super hot and I said, you know what? I just have to turn this off just for a moment to just not have that constant it wasn't just like a fan going. These were like bigger fans, the air conditioner. It was really rattling and loud. So I just took a few moments of quiet, turned it off, and it was a lot better. But yeah, I get that. Sometimes it's just, especially if it's constant. Dead center of the peninsula. Oh, and then you retracted one just as I was getting to that one. So that's awesome. 1 mile from the coast. Oh, that's our dream. That is our dream. We want to be super close to the coast, but not, like a mile or two. That would be amazing. So, oh yeah, but it could be loud. I could see that. So, all right, I'm going to grab the torch. This one needs just a little bit of a torch, but I like the fun, just subtleness to this one. But this one is kind of the grand finale for today. Love it. So I just torched right here, just specifically carefully in that spot to pull up some of that blue. I do not like this little speck floating out here though. Clean that little speck up. All right. I am loving this color combination the last couple of days. It's funny, I'll get a color combination stuck in my head and then I'll really use that color combination for a while. This one has kind of been stuck on me, this real light pale pink, the different varying blues, and then that rose gold. Whole little family of cells popping up in the middle of that other cell. It's sophisticated. All right, good. I'm glad you can say nice things about it. That's a good thing. Just kind of cleaning up my edges. Now, this is the finale for today. The next few videos that'll be coming out is a video with string pull, chain pull technique. Then I do have a fun, another finger swiped little creature coming. That's all I'll say. And then there'll be a couple videos on some new pouring medium that I'm going to review. And also one of those, Michaels came out with these real hard, they're called reversible paint surfaces or something. I can't remember what it was called. So there's a video coming out painting on one of those. So yeah, quite a few different videos coming out, but we will be live next Wednesday again. Yeah, it'll continue to evolve for about an hour. And I don't use epoxy. I don't know of a good resin or epoxy that doesn't honestly yellow after some time. And I don't like it's got so many fumes. It is not good for our environment. So I don't use any epoxies or resins, but it will be clear coated with a polyacrylic. So at least it's a little bit better for the environment. So, but yeah, I and epoxy resin is just so expensive. Then the paintings would be much more expensive. So I try to keep it somewhat affordable. But yeah, so um I'm liking the composition of this one, way stretched out, but I kind of like that. So yeah, there's a resin and epoxy. Well, it's pretty much essentially the same thing, resin epoxy, but it has become super trendy, super, super, super popular, and super popular to pour over your paintings, to resin your paintings. Super popular to make all kinds of little resin, little doodads and pyramids and resin little all kinds of home decor. But honestly, I don't know of a single resin that does not yellow after a few years. So that kind of sucks to put a plastic out, to make a plastic object that isn't going to last for very long. So I just don't really see a need for it. And I don't want it in my house, the resin in your house. Like you have to be fully, fully like all, uh, like full ventilation and everything. So, yep, this one has evolved. I'm loving these little ones through here. This blue, darker blue has kind of popped up. A few cells through here. I'm liking that. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. And that rose gold. So it does have some rose gold. It's hard to see on the camera now, but once it's dry, I will try to show this one on dried and I'll show you the shimmer to it because that rose gold that's kind of going through here, it looks almost orangish. It's going to dry with a beautiful shimmer. Yeah, it was nice to chat with you. I've been wondering how you've been doing. So it's nice chatting with you. But I try to keep it about an hour. So I have been talking away. So I am going to be getting off of here. But next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be showing some more of the painted papers and cutting them up and showing what I do with all the painted papers. So I hope you can join us next Wednesday because it was nice chatting with you and catching up. So thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope it's nice and quiet in your area. So, all right. I am going to get off of here though. I try to keep it about an hour. So, thank you so much. And I appreciate everyone. And I end all my live streams with the same information. And it means more and more every single time I say it. It seems like, but be the change you want to see in the world, guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. All right, guys, I am going to get off of here though. So have an awesome, awesome week and hope to catch you next Wednesday at my live stream. If not, I've got a couple of videos coming out during the week. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by, H7. Have a good one.